Hello. So I have just done my second card pull for the moon cycle. And I wasn't sure whether I was going to keep going with my tarot cards or not, but I kind of felt like because I'd done like a single card spread in like a, you know, more long-term type thing, that I'd actually just jump into my astrology cards. So that's sort of what I'm doing now. I'm kind of just shuffling just to infuse the energy a little bit more. I have done my normal hand infusing, but of course this one is a little bit different, so I have to, you know, kind of go through the cards and sort them out into their groups and kind of pull the cards from there. So I thought I'd just kind of jump back on so you can see me doing some shuffling work before I start sorting through them all. Yeah. Okay, so I have got them in their 4 groups. I'm just shuffling up the different moon cards. I like to sort of shuffle these up because they want you to add at least one of the moon cards into the planet cards. So I'd rather just kind of separate them all together and then kind of just shuffle through them, and then just add one when I feel that it's shuffled enough. I actually feel, oops, this one. Just move them over there. So now I'm shuffling with the planets. So this one is more, what is my guiding planet right now? Thank you, ancestors, spirits, loved ones and angels, positive energy. Who is my guiding planet right now? I will just keep shuffling through and then I can just go through each reading there. What zodiac sign traits do I need to channel in order to move forward with this goal? Oops, alright, you're coming out because you wanted to escape. I've had that one before actually. Oh, hello. I don't need all of those, thank you. Where's my minor supporting planet to my major supporting planet? Okay. Area of life is happening in right now. You just kind of wanted to pop out, didn't you? Okay. So, ooh, okay, there's a lot of bright colours here actually, and weirdly enough I kind of got like more warm colours, but then I say that, but I've got like my 2 end cards are sort of like more yellow based, and then my 2 middle cards are kind of a little bit more purple, blue, green based. One has a little bit more of the orange and yellow and stuff in it, but yeah, it's quite funny actually. All right, I can separate that deck there for the moment. All right, so what I'm actually going to do is, because I actually don't think I've had any of these cards. One of them I've pulled before, but I don't know if it was in a reading for myself. I think it was actually for someone else. I vaguely remember it, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my notebook out. I'm going to start pulling some notes on what I'm feeling. I'm just going to pack up my cards, like the other decks, out of the way. Okay, so I've just got my notebook kind of set up, and I just packed up my, well, not packed it up, but just gathered my deck. So the planet card that I actually got was Saturn. And again, I haven't studied this deck as much as I've studied my other one. So this one I'm really kind of trying to draw on that intuition a little bit more to sort of pick up what I think. I kind of get, see, I just heard things are not as what they seem. That's not a phrase that I ever really, like, yes, you hear it in movies here and there, but it's not something that's very commonly said. Yeah, not, yeah, things are not as they seem. Okay, I don't know. I don't get, the weird thing is with that, I don't get like a negative vibe. I think it's more like I'm getting smoke screen in the curtain. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. It's like, I know in another reading I was literally told that I need to stop trying to figure out to know all the answers. Like sometimes you just need to let smoke and mirrors do what they need to do and let things happen behind the scenes. Like that's sort of what I'm getting. It's like smoke and mirrors behind the scenes. It's almost like saying, just, yeah, let it unfold. Let it unfold. And that kind of says to me, like, let things unfold in their time, in their own time. Like, you don't need to have the answers to everything straight away. You don't need to rush things. Like, let things unfold because there's a reason why they're unfolding that way. That's, yeah, there's a reason why. And I kind of just got the word positivity. So I'm assuming that that potentially positivity means that by letting things unfold on their own, it's actually going to be more positive than trying to seek the answers before getting there. Like, it comes back to that Christmas present thing. Like, you know, when you're a kid, you want to, like, you know, get up super early and, like, sneak in and look at all your presents, which I did as a child, by the way. Pretty sure we all did. Because you kind of really want to know, and you kind of can't wait for another 2 or 3 hours until your parents get up. You want to go and check because you've seen Santa's been. It's sort of that positivity of like by holding out and letting things unfold, you're going to get that positivity in a more beneficial way. That's kind of what I'm getting from that. So I'm just going to keep going through what I'm getting from the cards, and then I'm going to go back and cross-check them because I'd rather see what I intuitively feel off this. I feel more like I'm ready to channel that more intuitive stuff rather than just kind of going back to memorize what the book says that they symbolize and how I can apply that. So yeah, I'll leave that one there. The second one, which was the zodiac, which is like, yeah, the traits to channel this energy with supporting planet, ascendant. I know I've had this one before, and I think it's from memory and from what I'm feeling, it's quite a good card to get because it's kind of giving me strength. Like I feel like strength and patience, that's what I'm getting, strength and patience, which kind of then works in with what I'm getting from Saturn, is that you just let things happen the way they need to happen. Like, there's smoke and mirrors for a reason. Just admire the smoke and mirrors. Don't try and find out why it's happening, you know. But like even the ascendant, it's almost kind of giving me that strength and patience to not seek the answer. It's, yeah, I'm hearing like wisdom to know the difference as well. So it's like, yes, there are certain things that you need to do your homework on, and there are some things you've just kind of just got to let be and let them unfold. And I think that's where the wisdom to know the difference is. Okay, so my phone has never done that before. It literally just stopped recording on its own. It just popped up and gave me a symbol to say maximum time recording met. I haven't ever had that with my phone, so I'm assuming that it's potentially something to do with the memory, but I'm pretty sure I've backed everything up, so it shouldn't really matter. But it's a little bit weird, actually. Yeah. Anyway, we'll keep going. Juno. Juno is the minor planet that's supporting Saturn. And weirdly, I kind of get that same kind of vibe. It's more, it kind of, I'm just hearing patience with it. It's like patience. That's all that's sort of coming through for that one. Is just patience, and that you need to, yeah, not take things too seriously. I'll write this down on a different one. Is it Juno? It's like patience is the big one. I sort of, you know, when my phone had its little moment and just shut down my filming, the first thing, you know, when I sort of was like, okay, that's weird. And the first card I kind of looked at was this one. And it was like patience. Positive change is coming. That's what I've just heard. Positive change is coming. And I think it's, again, it's kind of saying positive change is coming because you just need to trust the process. Trust the process. Yeah. I see that phrase a lot, but I never really say it. So it's interesting that it's sort of like popped up. Yeah, that one's, I'm not getting as much from this one. And I don't know if it's because these two have kind of, because they're the major parts of this spread, they've kind of like pushed everything out. So this one, I just kind of got reiterated with, you know, like patience that's in this one, and then like, you know, let things unfold in their own time. And I think that's because it's only the minor one. It's just kind of saying, look, if you weren't listening before, I'm going to say it again. Patience, you know. And then the area is the 9th house. I feel this one, when I look at it, the energy that kind of comes through to me is like career or financial, or no, maybe not financial so much, maybe more like career or purpose, like yeah, career, purpose. They're not exclusive, like mutually exclusive in that self. It's like career can be one thing, but your life purpose can be another, and sometimes if you're lucky they kind of cross over, and you get a bit of both. So that's what I'm getting. It's 9th house is more based on career, but that's just what I'm getting. I could be completely wrong, but I would say based on what I've picked up with these, it sort of supports what I asked the cards in my own internal dialogue, which was more so about a particular situation that I have touched on in a previous reading card spread as well. So yeah, career and like purpose, like life purpose. Again, it's sort of like I get with that color yellow, I get like positivity coming from that, like positive career, longevity, like it's, there's longevity in the job that you would take on, even if it's currently presenting itself as not that. There is absolutely the possibility, a very, very strong possibility of longevity in that particular area. And it doesn't necessarily mean with the same like employer. It can be like the same area, but potentially with a different employer. So you might have like a short-term thing in one space, but you get an opportunity that's in the same area, or industry, if you will, but in a different workplace, or even kind of touching on life purpose. Like it's almost like this is the lesson that you're learning through career, but maybe your life purpose is this, and the two of them can kind of cross over a little bit, and you can draw on each one in order to achieve the common goal. That's what I'm getting from this. Like, yeah, draw on career and purpose to achieve the common goal. Yeah, okay. Is there anything else you want to add? exclusive. I know I said that. Okay, not always reflected in the same way, meaning they could be two different types of employment. Might be, that's kind of just, I've just used that word for a lack of a better. Two different types of employment that essentially do two different things on a surface level. But the underlying message is that there's a common theme between the two, and you can draw strength from the other. So it's like they're not always necessarily reflected as the same thing, but if you look deeper beneath the surface level of what each of those things is, they're the same, if that makes sense. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's sort of like a deeper level. All right, cool. Well, I think that's kind of cool with what I've got. I am going to cross-check it and see what I've pulled through those cards and what's been picked, like what they're symbolizing, and see how well they kind of marry up together. Yeah, I'll be back. Okay. So when I first started like kind of checking over these cards, I was kind of like, oh fuck, I felt way off. But the further I went down to sort of read a bit more about different elements of the card, it was, I don't know what it is, they're all at the bottom today. Like all the messages that I'm picking up from the cards for myself that are relatable to the card are all at the bottom in the books. So with the major planet Saturn, so, you know, the things that I picked up were, you know, like things aren't as they seem, smoke and mirrors, behind the scenes, let it unfold in its own way, there's a reason why, positivity. So they were the messages that I was receiving. So essentially Saturn kind of pops up to make sure that you're certain of your path or your direction that you really want to go. And if if you're not actually at that point, like say you're at a bit more of a stalemate where you're like, I don't know which fucking direction to go in, it can also meaning like reorganizing and restructuring, which both of those things actually resonate for me. And it kind of then reflects the last couple of days as well, with the differences in certain routines. Like that's sort of what I've been doing, is reorganizing and restructuring. So for me, it's kind of making sure that it's like, all right, well, in order for you to make that decision and knowing which way you need to go, you need to reorganize and restructure and then revisit this. So that to me kind of cements that. And of course it also mentions, like your major goal aspirations. So it's making sure you know which way you're going. And it can feel like that two steps forward, one step back. Which is another thing which would then make sense with when you've got to reorganize and restructure, where you think, fuck, I just feel like I've just done this and it's not, like, why do things feel like they're going backwards when they're not? It's more of that illusion, like smoke and mirrors. Like it can feel that way, but it's not actually happening that way. So just trust the process. So I think the messages that I got through my own interpretation of the card and what I was hearing very much touch on what this card is representative of, but they're more personalized to me and my situation, and particularly the question that I asked the card. And again, my phone decided that it didn't want to record anymore, so I'm going to make this as quick as I can. So with the ascendant, which is the zodiac energy to channel, so what I was pulling up from this was like strength and patience and wisdom to know the difference. This one also kind of talks about being authentically you, like don't be ashamed of who you are, and utilize that energy and put it into your own personal development, which I guess that's sort of the direction I'm going. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I've been trying to do for a while. And it's kind of like that old story of the tortoise and the hare. Like some people are going to get down that pathway a lot faster. Other people, it's like, you know what, I've been the hare and I felt like I didn't get anywhere. So now I need to be the tortoise and kind of slow down and just take each step as it comes. But it's also kind of talking about, when I got that wisdom to know the difference, when I picked it up energetically, it was like having that strength and patience. But I think it can also symbolize having that strength and patience within yourself. I don't think it necessarily has to be have a bit of patience for this situation to unfold. It's more about have a bit of patience with yourself, because you are going through a growth and development process, and have the wisdom to know the difference of what is part of your growth journey and what's something that you need to work on, or what's redirecting you. So that's kind of what I picked up from that. So it's not overly involved, which is, I think Saturn definitely felt like the most involved one. Juno, you know, I picked up on like positive changes coming, trust the process. And it's interesting because it also, again, it supports Saturn in the way that it's asking you to look at your circumstances, your situation, whatever that might be, and look at it from multiple perspectives. I don't like using the word looking at it from every angle, because it kind of then makes it sound like you're procrastinating. But it's more, take the time to think about your situation. Just slowly reflect. You don't have to have all the answers straight away, but just think about it slowly. Look at it from different perspectives. Think about it from different perspectives. What does this look like in all of these different areas? And then how can I then be certain about which path I'm going on? And it kind of just says like a list of pros and cons. And in a previous reading, I was literally discussing pros and cons. So this again supports that for me. So I'm going to definitely kind of take that. And I feel like this has come kind of as like a support to the card pull that I got for the moon cycle reading. And the 9th house. So I was picking up on career and purpose. So I guess again, this is probably my personal messages being channeled. And basically it's kind of talking about thinking about having different viewpoints that may help others. And that was like where it's like it's not always reflected in the same way. It's a deeper level. So, you know, think about how you can discover new things, help yourself learn, help others learn, teach different things, and kind of move in to your career progression utilizing that mindset. I think my phone is literally going to die, so I'm going to make this quick, but they were sort of the messages that I got from these cards. So I found that pretty interesting, and I hope you've all enjoyed joining me on this. This particular reading has been fun for me, but it's also been irritating because the camera's just being a see you next Tuesday. But that's okay. We adapt and overcome. But yeah, thanks for joining me, and I'll speak to you all soon.